Hello, this is Marcus from Free Fork Web Agency, and I just wanted to welcome you to this playlist where we're going to pretty much go through a lot of the latest features of WordPress. We're going to install a theme and also work with some plugins. I'm going to offer some of my professional advice whenever I do work with clients and set up WordPress themes for them, whether it be building a theme from scratch. I'll show you a couple of options that I use, or just using a premium theme and where I go to find those. But for starters, we are going to set up our local machine, get everything set up. Typically what I like to do when I'm working with clients is I first gather, actually let me go to the how it works real quick so you can see this. I typically will follow this kind of process right here where I do a lot of research, get information, and then I develop my mock-up, style tile, wireframes, whatever may be needed visually. And this is all before we even dive into WordPress, just to really get their thought process, try to understand what exactly they want, because it makes it a lot easier early in the stage to make that transition, instead of after completely developing a website where you have to make some big changes. So I go through all this, and then we're pretty much in the development stage right now, where what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to install, if you're using a Mac, which I'm using right now, we're pretty much going to be setting up a local server. And we do that, first we're going to need to have some sort of, let me go to iTerm. We need to have some sort of terminal where I'm using iTerm, which is just accessing terminal. It's just an easier, more friendly approach to using terminal. And what we're going to need to do first is we're going to need to access our host files. And we can do that through private XC host, like this. And what I've already done is I've actually set this up myself, where I assigned WordPress, pretty much specifying the domain name that we're going to be using. And let's just change this to something that's, let's just put mygreatsite.com. Let's just say that's the domain name we're working with. So we're going to save this now just by Control X and then just putting just Y to save that like that. Now what we're going to need to do is install Vagrant and VirtualBox, and you can install those just by Googling Vagrant. Let's say they're right here, and go to the downloads like that. So you'd have to download this, and then also VirtualBox. And actually that's one word. And you just go here and click downloads, and you could, depending on what kind of operating system you're using, and so if you're using Mac, then you'd use this one right here, click on that. And that would be about it. Now what you're going to need to do after you get both of these installed is you're going to have to set up a LAMP stack. Now, LAMP stack is pretty much, it's an acronym for Linux, Apache, MySQL database, and then we have PHP. And so you're pretty much setting this up so you could actually run your local server, so you could actually run WordPress without actually needing a website. You don't even need a domain name to do this. All you need to do is you set up LAMP stack. After you use VirtualBox and Vagrant, you get those both downloaded. And I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do. So just Google LAMP stack and just Google Jeffrey Way with that. And he's a developer who's actually he's created this really neat script right here. You're going to find this that says a fork of Jeffrey Way's Vagrant LAMP stack. And remember, we downloaded Vagrant. So now what you're going to need to do is just click this raw link right here, so you have this text right here. Now you don't need to bother using the alias right here, LAMP, which just pretty much means is it's a shortcut to where all you'd have to do is just put in LAMP like this, and it would display this. And the only way you do that is if you were to set up a actually, I'm not going to really dive into this with you, because that might be a little confusing, because you're really only going to need this once. So all you have to do is just copy everything between the curly braces right here, the curl to Vagrant up, and then you would copy that, put it right here, and then paste it wherever you want to set this up. So let's say that you wanted to set this up on your desktop, then you just create a folder and maybe you want to put websites there, and then you would have to go into there. And so what I'm using is I actually have a shortcut right here in my websites folder. And actually, if I view this folder, you're going to see that I have backups, which is nothing right now. I actually have nothing set up. This app is actually it's just a demo that I set up with nothing, and it actually has nothing when I initially set up Vagrant in VirtualBox. So what we're going to need to do is you would need to create that directory, create a folder, and then you would have to go into that directory and then copy and paste this. And so when you do that, you're going to actually get these two files right here, the install sh and the Vagrant file. And if you're curious about what kind of stuff you're installing, just copy this link and you're going to find it. You pretty much have this information right here. And that is about it. So now what we're going to do, once you have done that, it's going to take about 15 to 20 minutes to go through the installation. But when you have completed that, now you are able to use the Vagrant command. And you can only use this if you're in that folder. So if I'm outside this folder, this thing's not going to work. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. I'm going to actually go to the local folder, which is the one that I pretty much have just to really categorize. All I have is just the website folder here. So if I do Vagrant, it's not going to do anything. What it's let's see here. If I do Vagrant SSH, yeah, see right here it's saying it's required to run this command. We don't have the installation file here, so we'd have to go into the folder that we're using where it has the Vagrant file. So now let's click on this, and we have the commands right here, and there's quite a few commands that you can use. But what we're going to need to use is pretty much just the SSH right here. Connect to the machine via SSH. That's all you're going to need. And in fact, you're pretty much, when you do this, you're going to be starting up your server, which is pretty cool. And you could actually reload. That means restart your Vagrant machine. You know, if you ever encounter an issue, if you're making any changes, then you may need to reload. And same with the halt. I typically, whenever I'm done using my server, I'm going to use Vagrant halt. And I'll show you how to use that later on. But for right now, we're just going to have to do Vagrant SSH. And what we're going to be doing now is accessing that individual. Oh, my bad. I completely forgot about up. Yeah, the first thing you're going to have to do is actually boot up your Vagrant. So it says starts and provisions the Vagrant environment. So let me go to Vagrant up. And let me just click that. And so what it's now saying, bring in machine default up with Vagrant with VirtualBox provider. So now everything's being set up. As you see, there's the SSH address. And really, you know, this stuff's sort of foreign, so don't even worry about this. This stuff is completely irrelevant until this completes. Shouldn't take too long. But now our Vagrant machine is complete. We have set it up. Now we have to do Vagrant SSH to actually access the Vagrant area right here. So now we're in Ubuntu right here, and we are in our virtual machine. So let me just show you what is in this. We pretty much have our nodes. Well, the reason why I have this is just because I'm using I'm working with Node, so you may not even see that. But if we pretty much CD'd into Vagrant like this, you're going to see that we are pretty much in the same area. Remember the backups in the app, the folders that I created within the web, pretty much in that folder right now. But what we're going to need to go now to actually access our My Great site, and I believe that's what it is. Let's exit out. I'm going to show you how you exit out of Vagrant. All you have to do is just press exit. That's it. Now we have closed our connection, but we still have it set up, so we don't have to do Vagrant up anymore. But let's go into host real quick. So remember, it's sudo nano private xe, because I do not want to forget this when we are actually in here. So my great site, and remember this has to be verbatim. You cannot, it's got to be, if you're using www, then you have to keep it like that. Or if it's non, then you have to keep it like that. Remember, it's Control X to exit. So now let's go back to Vagrant SSH, and I have this actually copied right now. I'm going to actually put it right here, and I'm going to get back onto here. So we have that. Now we're going to have to go into our site. I'll show you right here. So if we do xe like this, Apache 2, sites, available. And if you're wondering where Apache 1 is, I honestly have no idea. We're using Apache 2, so just remember that. And then sites available. Now just press enter. Now we are in sites available, and this is where we're going to set up our configuration for migrate site. Now let's look at what we have set up here. These are a couple of projects that I've been working on. And so let's just view one of these real quick. And you could view one of these by pretty much just doing sudo vi, and let's say we're going to look at the WordPress one real quick. So let's just do WordPress, and I'm actually going to click tab. When you do that, and you have part of it, it's going to find the most accurate one. And what VI means is we're pretty much just accessing it's sort of like a text editor. We're using Vim. And it may be a little confusing to navigate this, but you're pretty much just using your directional keys, just going up and down. And if you actually press the W, it's pretty much going for every word here, like that, like every word, as you can see that. And to edit this information, you would have to go into the insert mode, and you just press I to do that. But we're not gonna mess with that right now. You can see right here we have the server name, and you don't even have to worry about this right here. There's only 3 things you have to worry about. And as a matter of fact, if you're starting this up brand new, you're gonna make sure you're gonna have to add this right here. And I'm actually gonna copy this so I have it here, so I could copy this and add it to the video. So you could just grab the snippet. But what you're going to need to do is have the directory. And the reason why we have this set up right here, all this really is it's going to allow us to use permalinks, which are simply just friendly URLs. So for example, if we had migrate site, and let's just say we had a website, like an individual page that was, let's just say, beginning SEO. What it might look like is something like this, where you have some sort of ID right here, where it's like the post is equal to a certain ID without using permalinks. Now here's what it's going to look like with permalinks. Let's just say I can't remember what I just said, well, let's just say it's SEO basics. Now this is how it's going to look. So there's not going to be that P is equal to a query string right there. It's going to look just like this. So it's going to, I guess the simplest way of saying this, it's going to make it a lot more SEO friendly and allow you to rank higher on Google. Because Google is going to actually see, it's not some random string. But yeah, this definitely allows you to do that. And what we're going to need to do is edit this, the WordPress right here, WordPress and the server name. Remember, this has got to be exactly the same as migrate site. So let's get out of this one by pressing escape. That's all we have to press, escape. And then just the double colon. And as you see, there's the double colon right down here. And just press the Q to quit. And we've quit. Now what we're going to have to do is copy this, and you're not going to actually have WordPress.config initially. You're just going to have this one and this one. So just make a copy of this one. And in fact, let me just show you how I would do this. So I'm going to just do sudo cp like this, and copy it. And now remember, we're going to need to copy the migrate site. It's got to be verbatim. And I like keeping it consistent like that. So let me actually make this a little bit bigger so you can see that. So we're pretty much just, CP just means to copy this this file and pretty much put everything in this in here, but just rename it. Now let's press enter. Now if I do ls, you're going to see that we have this new file right here, migrate site. Now let's sudo vim, like vi, the migrate site. And here we are. So we have this brand new template right here, and we're just going to need to copy this snippet, and we can go down here and pretty much go, if we just press the I, now it's saying insert mode, now just tab right here and copy it like here. Let me actually go up here. I'm actually not the best with Vim because I don't really use this that often. I'm pretty much just setting up my WordPress site, and that's about it. I mean, any website I'm working on. Now all we're gonna have to do is just copy this right here, and let's go to migrate site again, and we just make a copy right here because we want to name our folder this, and it doesn't have to be this. We could name it just site or whatever, but it makes it easier to make it just the name of the domain name. And the only thing we're gonna have to change up here is this right here, the server name. We have this hash. Let's just get rid of that hash, And let's go right here and replace the example with the domain name. And that is it. Now just press escape. And this time, instead of quitting, we're going to need to press double-colon and WQ. And what WQ means is we're going to write it and then we're going to quit it. And that's it. Now we're just going to have to add the website. We're going to enable it. And so all you have to do is sudo a2 nsite migrate-site.config. That's all we have to do. And because it's enabling the site, because before it was deactivated, we didn't actually enable this thing pretty much to run. And so we're going to have to, and also actually make sure, I want to also point out that you need to use sudo for all of these. And that's pretty much, if you're not really familiar with sudo, it's pretty much giving you a special admin privilege to do this certain thing. It's pretty much overriding anything that may be conflicting with this. I remember when I initially was working with Vagrant VirtualBox and setting this up, I spent like 3 hours trying to figure out why in the world my domain name was not working, why nothing was connecting, and the main reason really was sudo. It was not, I was not pretty much giving that admin privilege, and what's really essential is doing that with the service Apache 2 reload right here, which we're going to do that right now, because you need to do this or else it's not going to work. So just do service Apache 2 reload. Now we're reloading the web server Apache 2, and as you see here, we still have this config. And if I go to www.migrate-site, it's just going to go to a not found. And the reason why there's not found is because we actually have not added the directory. Let me go here real quick. Migrate. We have not added the directory migrate-site yet. Remember, if we go back to, let's just exit out of Vagrant because we don't even need it anymore. We're pretty much done with that. Let's just go to LS now. We're on our website. We don't even have the migrate-site. So we need to actually add that. And so what you're going to need to do is go to WordPress, download the latest WordPress 4.1, get that, just download that file, and I believe, yeah, here we go. These are the two files that I want to work with right here. So I have my WordPress file, which I just downloaded, and I'm using a Avada theme from ThemeForest, which we're going to go into more detail later on about choosing premium themes. And Avada is by far the most popular theme on ThemeForest. That's why we're pretty much using it, because it has the most development, pretty much the most support. And yeah, so pretty much I'm gonna show you how to install that in another video. So I'm ending this video right now, and in our next video, I'm gonna show you how to set up your WordPress website and get the database configured, the best kind of software to use to get your database configured, and so forth. And hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, this is Marcus from freefork.com, and have an absolutely terrific day. Thank you so much.